Keep your home comfortable, efficient, and looking great with new windows from Green Energy. We only provide the highest quality, most energy-efficient windows available with the lowest installation costs in Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Green Energy windows have the highest efficiency rating, designed to lower your energy bills. Bring us your estimate from any competitor, and we promise to beat it with a window of equal quality. Call or visit greenenergyllcwindows.com and learn why so many homeowners are choosing Green Energy.
And welcome to the show. Again, sorry for those who hanging around. Sorry, we're running a little late. My train was late today, so that's my excuse. And man, I'm so sorry because we had so many exciting things planned, but it's still gonna be a great show. But again, running a little late, so give me a few seconds to get my wind together. Allison is coming down. Welcome. I hope your week's going by amazingly. This week so far has been pretty good. I can't complain. We got topics. We got hot topics. We got fun topics. We have guests. Yes, we have guests on the show today doing something a little different than normal. And so we're excited about that. Let me see if I have my have my rundowns here. Let me hold on. Come on down, babe. Allison had to get me from the bus stop. You know, man, I tell you, every time when I was laying this out, I was like, oh, this is going to be good. And then I laid it out, and sure enough, things pop up. But that's how life works, right? You got to be ready for every twist and turn. I see people are hopping on. This is a good thing. And we're on. I want to shout out. We got Facebook popping, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Okay, we have a nation of followers tonight, and of course, I left my one sheeter at home. We have Carl with the K, who's joining us later tonight. Normally, Carl with the K kicks off the show, but tonight he's going to be later. He's going to be joining us at 5:45. We have our guest at 5:30. It is Black Married Couples. It's a Black Married Couples Week conference. We're going to be talking to the Black Married Couples Week conference people. We'll be doing that. Say what's up to April's in the house. Our regulars checking in. I'm trying to see what happened here. I had my little, I took a picture of my rundown. I took a picture of my rundown. Now I can't run down my rundown. Allison! She's coming. But, Allison is the star of the show. That's the beauty. When you have the beauty, the star of the show, as a wife, it's amazing. I got it. Oh, wait a minute. Allison's calling. Yes.
What you doing all of this goddamn yelling for, boy, in the house?
We are live right now, Allison. You're live on the air. Come on downstairs now.
I thought it was 5.
No, the guests are 5:30. We're up.
Okay, bye.
Yes, Carl with the K. We got the astronauts are back. Trump and segregation. The Just Hilarious situation. What's up, DC Tunes? Oh, man. Okay, thanks. Marita was looking out. Yes, Kathleen, she's coming. As you can see. Yeah, so Monique was going to join. We have a couple of Moniques going on. So Monique Smith is a friend of the show, and Monique's journey is amazing. Both Monique, we've known Monique for 15, 20 years. We met Monique Smith years ago when she was a woman who did not know her family background. You know, it was a whole mystery. Someone who she thought was her family was her family. The person was not. And so she was on the path of trying to find out who her family was. And in that, there she is. The superstar has arrived. Yes.
I thought we were going on at 5:30.
So I'm telling them about Monique. I'm gonna play the trailer.
Oh.
So Monique, again, Allison and I have known her forever. And when I was on the Big Fat Morning Show, I interviewed Monique about her story. And then Allison actually interviewed on television over the years.
She's amazing.
And we have quite a few, but not quite a few. We have some people in our lives that we've known forever that have these stories that don't have an ending. You know, another one comes to mind where something happened, a family member, and they're trying to get to the bottom of it, and they don't know an answer yet. Well, Monique's story ends. It's a happy ending because she in fact finds her family. She found her family. So now as we speak, Monique knows where she came from, who she came from, her people. She discovered her sisters. So it's an amazing story. So much so, there's a movie that'll be coming out. We're going to interview Monique. We're going to just talk to her briefly because the new trailer came out. I want to just have her pop on because she's going to do something with her family tonight. But in April, when the movie actually comes out closer, we'll have her on for a full interview. But this is the trailer for her movie. So check it out.
When I was a young woman, I discovered my entire identity. When I was a young woman, I discovered my entire identity was a lie. None of these people are my real family. I was kidnapped in the late 60s by my so-called mother.
It doesn't look like you were ever reported missing. What makes you so sure you were abducted?
According to all public records, I do not exist. I'd have to find the truth about our family.
I will go to my grave before I tell you anything.
I may never find the truth.
You have come too far to give up now.
Your family is right in front of you.
You can never know the emptiness that I feel.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Not My Family, the Monique Smith story, premieres April 12th at 8, only on Lifetime.
I mean, Monique's an amazing person, so we're excited for that. So yeah, babe, I hopped on because some of you get timed out on some of the platforms. So as I hopped on, April was waiting. Everybody, where's Allison?
Hey, Kathy Land.
Shout out to everybody hopping on again. We kind of started the show because again I was running behind. I had to catch a train from Baltimore, and we were doing our thing. So, babe, you want to do our intro since we had the little a hot start. Marcel Russell, this is my man right here. Let me tell you something. This brother is so talented. I can't wait to get caught up, man. I got to call you. We got to get caught up. I'm glad to see you out in the streets. Deetra, what's going on?
All the way from Florida.
Florida's in the house. Oh my goodness. Riverview, Florida. I love it. What is that? The world's becoming very ghetto. Okay. All right. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Why?
Gavin, Dr. Montgomery, babe. Congratulations to Gavin. A couple weeks ago, Gavin was the dissertation, whatever it's called. What's it officially called, babe? When you do your dissertation.
Dissertation.
He's now
presented his dissertation.
Dr. Montgomery. Thank you. Congratulations, my friend. So proud of you.
Hello, darling.
Yeah, she was not Monique Smith, not Monique comedian, but yes, Monique was adopted. Well, you have to see this. You have to see the story, the whole story, right? And yes, Harlan, Miss Bailey made it. So, babe, everybody's here. The family's here. We got a lot of folks listening in.
All right.
And so what is this show all about?
Okay, well, welcome to the Allison and Marc Podcast, Married in Media.
Yeah.
If you don't know us, who are we? Well, we are two Gen X media pros who have been married for almost 25 years. And babe, I got to talk to you about that post you did today. 25 years, who happen to have 3 grown kids. We talk about everything here on the Married in Media Podcast, from politics to pop culture, everything in between, but everything is sprinkled with a whole lot of love. And we love you for tuning in. So thank you so much.
Yes, we're excited to see this movie.
Are we talking to Monique tonight?
No, we were
okay.
She had another thing at 5:15. That's why I hopped on.
Okay.
But so we're going to get her closer to the movie comes out in
She's
April.
phenomenal. And what I love about her is, man, she has the best attitude.
Yes.
What she does not look like what she has been through as far as her demeanor and how her outlook on the world. So everybody can learn a lot from her and her amazing story. I'm glad everybody's going to know about it. Yeah.
And so, babe, we're excited tonight because we have guests tonight.
Yes, we do.
And the Black Marriage
Week, and this is the conference that is in conjunction with this, with a group. It's wonderful. It's a group of licensed therapists, and their specialty is basically couples therapy. And so this weekend they're having a really exciting event in Montgomery County, and we're going to talk to them all about that and some of let's break some myths about Black marriage, especially, and just for all relationships, what are the things we need to be doing? So we'll talk to them. I see Dr. Carol Ann is in the
Dr. Carol Ann is in the waiting in the green room. And let's wait a minute. Dr. James is joining us too.
Well, let's get them busy, babe.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and talk to them.
Look at them. That's right. And so let's get them on. So without any further ado, we have Dr. Carol Ann. And also, we have Dr. Kia James joining us. A full house. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Hi.
Hi.
I fell in love with these two ladies when they came in. And your segment will air tomorrow on WUSA 9 in the 9 o'clock hour, too. So, I'm just so happy. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hi, ladies. How you doing? I'm a husband.
Okay, and that's Kia at the bottom. So this is Mark, and like I said, when we met, we're coming up on 25 years. Hi, we're coming up on 25 years, and what I know for sure is that everyone can benefit from relationship checkups and check-ins and making sure you're on track. So I'll just start with you, Dr. Caroline. Can you just tell us what is going on this weekend? It's Friday and Saturday, right? Uh-oh.
It is Friday IP Day. We're going to have wine tasting on Friday evening at Miss Toya's. And later on, we have a sexologist, Goody Howard, that's going to do the rhideology class.
Wait a minute now, rhideology.
Sexual positions class, absolutely. And on Saturday,
you got to work the middle.
Look at Kia's face.
You got to work the middle, change positions. No.
Yeah. And this so how? Okay, are there spots still available for the conference or I really want to call it a marriage retreat. How should I label
it? Okay. It is. We actually say it's a retreat style conference because we're making sure that they get in their date nights, right? And we pack it in there so that they have time to date, have fun, learn skills, practice the skills with therapists there. We'll have 2 male therapists there as well. Max Stanley Kuzo and Bashay Williams, Paul Bashay Williams will be there as well. Even the yoga is a therapist. Our person that's teaching yoga is a therapist, Xanthia Johnson. And we're going to have a panel, and it's going to be mixed with therapists and women that do real life stuff and balancing wifedom and marriage and kids and business. Because, balancing everything is can be a downer to the intimacy, to the, just to doing couple stuff because everything else takes priority.
Right. Now, I know you got a question, but just let me ask Kia.
Mm-hmm.
Can we back up and you can just tell all of our viewers here about relationship boosters and what you do all year round?
Yes. So we are actually licensed therapists. We do coaching, counseling, consulting, all of those things. We many times are helping people with the relationship with themselves or the relationship with their partner, helping them a fair recovery. How do you improve your relationship? We do premarital work. We do all of those things.
I love it. Now, Marc, I know you got some questions.
No, yeah, I got the full gauntlet. I love it. I was, as we're coming up on our 25th year, I find myself posting a lot about us, and I think it's interesting. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the kids are a certain age. I don't know if it's because we've been through the trials and tribulations, but there's a certain almost like calmness, I think, that you experience when you found that person that you really love and like. And then I said this, and I just want to get your take too, baby. Mm-hmm. I said this to a group of people, and they were like, "What?" I was like, "We can't wait to be grandparents, right?" And the reaction wasn't. I thought people would be like, "Yeah." People were like, "What? You can't wait?" It was like almost like being a grandparent was like It's always an accident. It's like nobody really wants to
was ready for that.
I was like, that reaction kind of shocked me, but I was like, man, I think a lot of people, their opinion of marriage, their experience of what marriage is, it really sadly, I think a lot of people do, even being a grandparent, I think struggle and hardship is a large part of people's, like, the connotation, that's when they think about marriage. And that just made me think, I could see why it's so important to have these kind of conversations, and also to see people who are happy and enjoy the struggle. It's a struggle, but enjoy going through it, and so is that, you see all this stuff, the articles and even the comments on social media, the status of marriage. What is going on? Does marriage have a bad name?
I think it could. I think it does sometimes for some people, but I also think that those people don't necessarily have good married couples in their network.
Mm.
So the people that have the connections and see married couples, I don't see them hesitating. Even Gen Z, the younger generation, to me, they're coming to us and they're looking for premarital counseling. They're looking to make sure that they're building a solid foundation. There is no hesitance with them becoming kind of like getting engaged. Even some of them are, because times are a little rough right now and people are struggling financially. Some of them are actually living with parents to prepare for getting the finances to purchase a home. So I don't necessarily think that it has a bad rap in general, but I do know on social media that I hear every day about why you shouldn't get married, why somebody's going to use you, stay up kings, don't get married, they gonna steal your money. Like all of those
people are loud.
It's loud and wrong.
Right.
Well, Caroline, let me this is my question. What can we do? Because when you think about marriage, when you were in studio, I said that a lot of times, especially Marc, you hear that you just don't see Black marriages. And if you do, you don't see them working. And it's just a bunch of, things are not going, they're not going in the way that people would hope what a marriage would be. I'll just say it that way. So what are some myths that you can just bust for us right now as far as the status of Black marriage? And, on the other side of that too, what would you like to see as far as people trusting each other enough to take that step?
Oh, when I think about this, I think about why we started Black Marriage Week in the first place. And we started it to make sure that we saw Black couples, period. Like, you come and you will get to see, if you're not seeing it in your environment, you come and get to see Black couples that are like-minded, that want to work on their relationship, that are trying to thrive. They don't have to be in some bad place. And usually that's not even the reason. Sometimes people realize that there is something that's a little off. They want to get it before it goes too far. And so they can come in and get preventative marriage counseling for that. But some of the myths that I see kind of floating around is that, you know, on social media, they call it like the swirl. So basically marrying out. And quite honestly, Black men choose Black women at a high percentage rate. And Black women choose Black men at a high percentage rate. So when they're talking about this marrying out most of the time, or you should go get this person from a different cultural background, it's not really what's showing up in the stats.
Interesting.
The numbers after all that talk.
After all that. And Kia, let me end with you before we get the information, because I know you all are busy. What's a deal breaker in marriage? What should, you know, I guess the first thing is going to be like, okay, if somebody has an affair or all that kind of stuff, but what would you consider to be a deal breaker? Like when somebody comes into, you know, relationship boosters and you're like, it's your personal choice, but I'm sure you don't tell people time for you to go, but what should be a deal breaker as far as holding on to yourself in that marriage?
The only deal breaker that I can think of right now is abuse, right? Okay. And most people, like many times, if you're coming with that, we're not going to do counseling because that is dangerous. However, if there's things that people say, you know, I would leave if the person had an affair on me, or I would leave if this and that. The reality of the situation is many times people tell you what to do in your relationship that they would not do if they were in that same moment. And I have seen it time and time again where people come in and they're like, I told my friends to leave in this situation, but I'm not going to leave. And I feel like a hypocrite because you can't say what you should do. So I'm not going to tell somebody that they should leave. The question is, are the two of you willing to work it out? Are you ready to do the work that's required to do so? And if so, let's get it on. Let's do the work so that y'all can fix the situation so whatever happened doesn't happen again. I would say the number one thing that leads to relationship failure is disconnection. And disconnection comes from, it could come from, you know, to be honest, affair is a symptom many times of disconnection. And so it's like, you know, workaholics that like to sit in their car and not come in the house and all of those things. It's like, I don't know this person anymore. I feel lonely with this person. You know, we are not seeing eye to eye. We're just having lots of conflict. And I don't feel like, you know, I don't feel like I want to say anything anymore, or I feel like I'm losing myself and I'm just sitting here lying, pretending to be happy when I'm not. Like those are the situations that I see that are the strong path to divorce if you do not correct it. But I can't say that you should leave in that situation because I have seen people correct that and then be better than they were before.
Bottom line is therapy. I'm sure that both of you will agree on that part. Okay, so so Black Marriage Week is the culminating event with this wonderful retreat. And you know, the therapists say if you need to rekindle your emotional and physical intimacy, deepen your communication and connection, celebrate your love in a safe, supportive community, walk away with tools and strategies to keep your relationship thriving, then you need to be in Gaithersburg on Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd at the Washingtonian Marriott. That's where you will be with all these fun activities. And for more information, blackmarriageweek.com. Is that the best place for folks to go to? Okay, yes, blackmarriageweek.com. I love the both of you. Thank you.
You guys are really good.
Also free for Montgomery County residents. I forgot to mention that.
You said it's free?
Wait a minute now.
So Montgomery County government and Black Physicians Network has sponsored residents of Montgomery County so they can attend the conference for free.
That's why I love Montgomery County. And I want you to, could one of you please just text me that so I make sure I put it in the story tomorrow when it airs?
Yes.
Okay.
You guys are really good. I love it. Thanks so much, ladies, for joining us.
Listen to Mark. You guys should start a group.
No, you're good. You're good. There's nothing worse when you have the therapists or people on they kind of suck. You guys are really good.
Oh, okay.
Thank you so much, Mark. You know, when the men say something, it's good.
Right.
It's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's good.
You said y'all got a future. Okay. Let's stay in touch, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, take care. Man, they are really good.
blackmarriageweek.com. And for Montgomery County residents, it's free. I mean, really fun stuff like, you know, they kind of said it like yoga and things that make you sort of take you out of that day to day.
Oh, it felt very sensual too. You can feel, I could smell the musk oil through the broadcast. It's very essential. They got the yoga popping. They got the rhinologist.
But you know what it's going to be? You're going to be lulled into a sense of, now, how can you really get in touch with your feelings? All of a sudden, you're like, oh.
You start crying.
Right. So, anyway.
Babe, is this your champ? Champ Adams?
No.
Hi, Champ.
Hey, and also Brandy's on. Hey,
Brandy's on.
What did Champ just say? He said, keep God first. We
Come
should
on
have
now.
asked that, like, tips for a successful marriage. But, you know.
Yeah.
Communication.
Babe, I posted, so Carl with the K is standing by.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But I wanted to, you mentioned I did a post today.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, and I knew people were going to think it's our anniversary.
But but you realize is people don't read, including our friends and coworkers. They don't read. I said,
Wisdom did that on purpose.
Okay.
Because I was sitting with him and I said, now, Mark, everybody going to think it's our anniversary.
I say on the post,
it's coming up
on April, whatever. But
how come you felt compelled to post it today? Did you?
This is why I felt compelled to post it, because when I worked in New York, I ran across something you don't run across often, especially of our generation and our age. A Barry White song that I wasn't familiar with.
Okay.
But it's so cold that I was like, can people hear? Okay. Anyway, you turned my whole world around. Did you know that song?
I don't think so.
Right. I discovered it when I was working in New York, and it's such a cold song, babe. I just had to put it. That's why I posted it. So if you guys go to our Instagram, you can see it.
What's it sound like?
Shout out to,
you can just play it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm in through the phone.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. But you can't hear. But anyway, Carl with the K is standing by. We'll come back to that later on.
All right.
Carl with the K, patiently standing by.
Carl.
He was busy, but he made some time for us anyway. Carl with the K.
I always make time for you guys. I
Thank
came in
you.
kind of late in that last segment. That was an awesome segment about marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough to have found love again because, Mark, as you know, I lost my wife.
Yes, amazing woman, by the way. They were a dynamic duo, Carl. Congratulations, man. You found love twice.
That's not easy to do.
But the one thing that happened after she passed that I always tell people to do is you spent a lot of money on it. Every so often, go through your photo album and your wedding video.
Sweet.
Because then I was watching it. I had people who had passed away before her who were there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, you start remembering your feelings of that day.
Yeah.
It's a real good call, bring back. And like I said, you did spend a lot of money on it.
And you did. And you probably last watched it a year after you got married.
Exactly. And it probably, somebody probably, if it's on VHS, it might have a football game on it by now.
Right. And you don't have a VHS player. So there's that.
So Carl, normally you guys catch Carl at the beginning of the show. So we actually, Carl, have the good news. He's got us a little, since we're running late today, you got us a little late in the show. So a lot of times people get a chance to see you for the first time.
All right.
Oh, well.
So this is if you all of our trivia in the chat, feel free to hop in and participate. And again, if you're on Instagram, I don't think we can see your comments, but everybody else, I think we can see your comments. So,
well, this month, this week and next week, I'm going to be honoring, women for Women History Month and our women, of course. So starting with the first question, who was the first Black woman to sign a long-term contract with a movie studio? Was it Lena Horne, Hattie McDaniels after she won an Oscar, or Dorothy Dandridge?
I'm going to say, go ahead, baby, you want to go first?
I don't think it's Hattie McDaniel. Is it Daniels? Daniel.
McDaniels.
Oh, Daniels. I'm gonna go with just because I think I know more movies from this actress. I'm gonna go with Lena Horne.
I'm gonna go with Dorothy Dandridge.
And it is Miss Lena Horne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Miss
that's
Lena
awesome.
Horne.
I just saw it. I just forgot it. I just saw it.
And what's so interesting about it is that there's a story. I don't know how true it is, but it sounded good that her father told Louis B. Mayer, who was the head of the studio, that his daughter was not going to be in Tarzan pictures and run around in leopard skin.
Yep.
And she never took
it. They signed her anyway.
And
which is amazing.
The meaning role. And I have no problem. I know a lot of people might have problems with people took those demeaning roles, but it's those demeaning roles that gave us Ava DuVernay. You know.
Get me the connection. Get me there, Carl. How do you mean?
It had to happen. It had to happen. It had to start somewhere.
Yeah. Oh yeah, facts.
From that start.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we're in. Okay, we're not going. Okay, now we're not going to take these types of roles because we're proving ourselves. Yeah. Now we're going to prove ourselves that we can do acting and directing. Now we're going to do ourselves that we can produce. So all that had to happen. Honestly, we had to keep proving ourselves.
Yeah.
And those, I think,
I'll give you that.
And the thing that generation really did that I think sometimes gets lost is that, you know, from Hattie McDaniel to Step and Fetch It, they did those roles and then taught the next generation not only creating opportunities, but they made opportunities for them.
Right.
You know, showing them the way, creating jobs for them, financing for them, and their impact was not just in the acting world. They were, you know, like a Step and Fetch It, who many people, you know, thought he brought the race down. But you know, I never forget hearing when Ali won that fight with the mystery punch that nobody saw. He was like, "That's who taught him. That's who taught him the punch." So yeah, and so it was like he was wealthy, and so he had a whole bunch of influence on a lot of things.
I think he also owned a Negro League team at one point. Yeah. So there was a lot. Like I said, you had to have that beginning, and you had to look back because without all that, you would not have nobody. It's like when Eddie Murphy had a joke that people would, you know, in the hood be like, man, if I was in slavery time, I'd have told Master to kiss my butt. No, you got hit by that whip.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So now it's not a whip, it's legislation. But let's move on.
We'll get into it. Real name, Lincoln Theodore Monroe Andrew Perry.
Yes. It's like a long name.
Yeah.
That's one of my early trivia questions.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Young Carl had that question.
But Patricia Bath was the first African-American woman to receive a patent for medical purposes. Her invention helped what kind of surgery? Throat surgery, cataract surgery, or foot surgery?
Cataract surgery.
Oh.
Final answer.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna stick with that. You said it so strong.
I mean, she said that with her chest.
Cataract, Carl, with a K.
And it is cataract surgery.
Okay.
How did you know?
I just saw it.
Okay.
I just saw it. Literally, like, you know.
She invented the laser phaco, which is a new device using lasers to help remove cataracts.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Oh my God. And if anybody, my Uncle Earl, I never forget this. Do you remember the old cataract surgery? My mother had the new cataract surgery and I had LASIK surgery. But my Uncle Earl, who was sadly in the military and had to go to the veterans to get his cataract surgery,
which is a sad state.
He went in and I'll say this. When he came out, they had a metal patch with holes in it.
Oh, wow.
So you could through the patch, you can see the gauze through this metal contraption on his eye.
My Lord.
And so when my mother had hers, talk about technology. That was my memory of cataract surgery. Right? So my mom had cataract surgery.
Yeah, I remember.
She was going in like, "Oh Lord, I hope we all were just like, oh my God, this is gonna be terrible." So I come to pick her up. She's sitting there with her glasses off, and she's like, "Baby, I can see." She said when they went in there with lasers, took cataracts off, put a new lens on her eye.
What?
So for the first time since she was 13, she could see without glasses.
Wow.
And then I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep this story going.
Nah.
It's not over.
This is in Springfield, Illinois, right? And she was diabetic, so they sealed her leaky vessels in her eye.
Wow.
They were so great at this surgery. 30 years later, my mother's here in this area, and she had to go to the eye doctor. And the guy's like, "Come in here. Come and look at this." Those seals they stayed. That's 30 years later. They still were sealed. So, that story you'll never need to know ever in your life. But, hey, come to my house.
We know who to thank.
Come to my house and you hear all these stories and more.
We know
and Allison's going to hear them for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Carl, don't try to take the stories from me.
And then we bring that back to Patricia Bath because they probably used the laser phaco to fix her eye.
That's it. Thank you.
That's good. The callback, Carl. I see what you're doing. Learned that in school.
This last one is just a little fun one that I really didn't realize. But Janet Jackson played Penny on Good Times. What's Penny's full name? Is it Millicent Gordon Woods, Cynthia Ann Krebins, or Lucinda Jackson?
I think it's Cynthia Ann Krebins.
Never knew this, so I'll go with Lucinda.
Well, she's Penny, which is a scent of Millicent.
That was wow. They would, yes.
Millicent Gordon Woods.
What I know is that iron scene.
Oh, the iron scene.
Life.
Oh.
Yes.
Even
a horrible moment in a sitcom life.
Oh.
Yes. When sitcoms get serious.
I think did Janet's acting as Penny carry over as an adult?
What are you trying to say?
I thought you were going to say, did that come from true life?
What's he trying to say? Oh, and then that. Wow. Well, Carl, it's been a really pleasure.
And don't forget, that was Chip Fields who played her mom.
Yeah.
All fun, Tootie's mom.
She was really good.
Kim Fields' mom. Tootie's mom, you said.
Yeah, Kim Fields' mom.
Mm-hmm. Wow. All right, well.
So, Carl, where are you going to be?
I love Janet Jackson.
On Friday, I will be at the 9-5 Kitchen and Bar in Linthicum. It is a great new spot. They have a great front bar area as well as dining room and a big ballroom. And every Tuesday night, you can catch me at the TGI Fridays in Owings Mills for game night.
We love TGI Fridays, one of my favorite chain restaurants. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
I love me some TGI Fridays.
Carl, and then
come on down. Mark will take care of you.
Yes.
Carl Decay is a cherry on top of TGI Fridays.
Yes.
I appreciate
Carl.
that.
All right, man. Thanks again. As always, seeing you, man. Carl with a K, ladies and gentlemen. Carl with a K, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, Shamira Brown?
Hi, Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown. Yes. And so, babe, those stories we were looking at earlier, you mentioned, so the astronauts are back.
The astronauts are back after 9 months stuck in space. Wild. 17 hours in that chair they're trying to get. It's the embodiment of what an astronaut is. When we think of astronaut, that's what we think of. Like, yeah, it's easy to do the mission, come on back. But they did so many experiments while they were there. I know they wanted to come back home, and you felt for them. And to be quite honest, I was holding my breath the entire time for them coming home. But they made it back, and just that's just excellence right there. That's just good old diversity, inclusion, and excellence with this crew right here. So nice. with Sonny and with Butch. And so I just loved it. And I'm just so happy that they got back. But it was giving a little I Dream of Jeannie with the splashdown.
Yeah, it was.
But they're back and hopefully they're good. But it's interesting. Space does all these things to you. You get taller in space because the spine does something. But also they were saying like to just pick up a pencil or something. It's a chore, like you don't realize because you've been so weightless for so long. So, I'm happy that they are back. That story just touched me today. Like just seeing them, it was just a wonderful way in a really kind of what's the right word for this news cycle we're in? This news cycle we're in. It was nice to have some good news, and that's definitely some good news. This
is some news that's not that good. So this was interesting. This story can trigger, right? Then this story can trigger segregation no longer banned in government contracts as Trump rips up 6-year-old order. So included in a lot of the things that are happening is just tearing away this alleged DEI and whatever and contracts and all this kind of thing. Now this seems for those of us of a certain age. We hearken back. It triggers you. You feel a certain way.
We are the first generation of being totally free. Let's just be honest. We were born in 1966.
Yes.
We're the first babies, like the first generation.
Yes.
Totally free, can supposedly go and do what you want to do in this, this big, beautiful country of ours.
But then I saw this as a counter, and I actually laughed.
So what's your take?
Bring back segregation.
100% disagree.
Dead at, bring it back. I want to know where I'm not welcome, okay? Put them signs back up. Colors only, whites only. Let's do it, all right? Rip the Band-Aid off. Especially for a restaurant. Are you kidding me? Whites only? What do I want to do in there? What they got? Mashed potatoes? Mayonnaise? Hot dogs? Colors only? We got seasoning. Turmeric. Paprika.
Okay, I like this.
Okay.
You were saying that the black excellence.
Absolutely.
The segregation is to get the
colored excellence.
Okay.
Okay. What's the playlist in the whites only spot? They playing Carrie Underwood and Kid Rock. We playing Babyface and Diggable Planets. Ain't no overhead lighting. What are you talking about?
Wait, where am I going?
Colors.
Hell yeah.
Look at his hair. Talk about where am I going? That's the problem with North Africans.
That's what I'm talking about. Hell yeah. I'm in. 100% agree. Let's go.
Talk about where I'm going.
Oh, man.
What happens to you in the summertime?
Where are we putting the Italians?
Listen.
I just want to know.
I don't need their food. I don't like tomatoes.
Okay, so they're going.
So again, New York's in the house.
Yeah.
Interesting perspective. I think
the kicker is like it just was never the sad part about it. And I know she's being funny, but you have the whites only signs, and then you have the colored entrance or blacks. But there was never any time where whites weren't allowed in spaces.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so it becomes like, for me, when I saw that a couple of people are saying that. Now she's the only person of that age, but there were some young people. Yeah, that's what, and I'm thinking, come on, y'all, it's not time to play. I posted this on my Facebook page and I said, it's important that you I didn't say understand. I didn't say what I really felt in my heart. I said, it's important that you're informed. This is basically something that has come. The whole DEI stuff is here, and these are the trickle down things with this. It's like I forget what they call it, a memo, but definitely it points out that it's no longer can you say no segregation, basically, in the government contracts or what have you, federal contracts.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is that you'll be traveling or doing something. It empowers people. There are federal and state laws that prohibit this.
Yeah.
That is still the law of the land is still that. But, you got to think like what's going to be considered under that DEI umbrella, and therefore what's going to be tested, and that's my thing. This is what people are calling it's a symbolic move just to be more like taking all the race out of stuff. But sadly, if you take all the race out of stuff, the minorities are going to lose in this situation. And so I don't really like I posted it on my Facebook page, and for the most part, people are like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. Then I had one person not, from here, I can't believe you're spreading propaganda, and the media and the government look to divide. And I'm thinking, and this couple happened to be a white gentleman with a wife who was a woman of color. I don't know. I couldn't tell what her ethnicity was by the post, but I'm thinking you probably have kids. And why would you want your kids to be in a society that marginalizes them? And I didn't engage because I could hear everybody saying, don't engage. But yeah, it's not. At first, I thought it was an executive order. I think some people had it wrong, but looking and researching it deeper, I corrected that to say that it is. It's just something basically that has come out of the White House, though. This has come out of the White House.
Well, and so the narrative. I had an interesting moment like this on my college Facebook page.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
College Facebook page. Because I really, like you said, what you just said, the narrative, how the narratives can flip, and how people can, it's almost like people always say, let's get away from race, or let's get away from whatever we want to talk about. But you can't get away from it if you haven't dealt with the history of it,
right.
Fully explained it. Everybody's on the same page of understanding. Everybody knows all the stories. So when you don't know all the stories, you can never really get to that point, right? So on my college page, which that's Southern Illinois University, Carbondale, the media page, radio, television. I went to a school that was pretty liberal, right? Mm-hmm. So on the page, these discussions, because the radio television department was a pretty powerful department, and so what's going on at PBS, what's going on in the media, what's going on at the Kennedy Center, these kind of conversations where what the president's doing. I was struck by the kind of counter. In that space, I expected it to be majority everybody just kind of, pretty liberal, pretty woke, if you will. And so in these discussions, you were seeing this kind of, to me, surprising.
Yeah.
So I made a comment on it. Like, wow, basically in general, in this space, I'm surprised to see this kind of connection, this MAGA, whatever I said, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I've said, right? Mm-hmm. And then in minutes, people, I don't know what you're looking at. I don't, and that's the first time in my life, not the first time in my life, actually, it's not the first time in my life, it's the first time I'm seeing it. And I went back to when I was in school, where I was the only African-American male who auditioned for television news, period. And I was the only African, that worked at the college radio station. That was the only one. And so you telling me what I'm feeling is ridiculous. And so now as a grown up and as somebody who's lived life and now who I see it and see it more, I was able to say it. I haven't gone back to see what it said, but you're telling me I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. And I'm a black male in this white world of people who went through this in college. What are we even talking about here? Mm-hmm. And I'm someone who not only went through it, I lived this media lifestyle. I majored in it and I've done it for 35 plus years in markets all over the country. And they have, tell me what I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so, but that's the kind of loop you get in at work. It's like I always use women because it's a prime example. When a woman tells you they feel something at work and a man says, oh, I don't think that's the case. What are we talking about here? If you say I don't feel comfortable, then you don't feel comfortable.
Right.
I don't have a say because you're telling me your thoughts and you're a woman. Yeah. And I think this is where we are in this race conversation and what's going on. And like you said, some people, what the guy said to you who has, mixed race.
And another person too was like, this is still taken care of on a federal and a state level. You saw it?
No. I saw what you. I've heard that argument.
And I said, yes, 100%. I understand that. This is why are you doing this? This is clearly like almost dipping your toe in the water, a little nod to people who wouldn't mind seeing the races separated again. And I said, it is on the state and federal level. It is still a law. It is illegal to discriminate based on, race and all that. And then she said, this is just fear. Stop fear mongering. And I thought that was so interesting. And I go back to that quote that I felt a long time ago about, when they came for this group, I didn't speak up when they came for this group. And so you need to, and I stood by what I said. It's important to be in the know about what is going on. It is important to, if you feel motivated to do so and strong to do, it is important to act, do something, write your Congress people. Do you know what I mean? Do whatever you can. If this does not, because for me, when I saw that, it was extremely triggering. Because the thought of going back into a space, I know it's not going to happen, but going back into a space where you're relegated to this space and that space and the fear that our parents must have gone through, not to mention our grandparents. Don't get me started on our great grandparents, right? And so, but if we all stand up, I believe there's way more good in this country and in this world. I believe there are way more people who would say, no, this is not where we want to go back to. I still believe that.
Well, the part about that part that's outrageous is when you say, don't do that, when that person says, don't do that, you're fear-mongering when that's exactly what this is. That's what this is. My comment isn't fear-mongering.
Yeah.
This is and that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
So that's the part that's ridiculous. Again, I think what I'm noticing is those of us who are old enough, we know the game.
This lady was older. People just want to. I don't know. Maybe it's too much. Maybe it's too much. What's going on?
You're fear mongering. What are you talking about? I'm fear mongering. That doesn't make any sense. I'm responding to what you just said.
I'm in the news and check it. Only if not for NPR, this story would have been buried. This thing happened last month at some point. NPR does an article about it, and now it's in the world. But it wasn't. This was not a big executive order that people made a big deal about. You didn't hear it, whatever. But this happened last month, and it's on the books now. So now we just gotta hope that that no federal contractor.
Well, and then like you said, because of the history of stuff like this. You're out, like you said, we travel every year down south.
We travel, yeah.
And you go into a place and they say, well, we don't want to serve you. You don't know, can you quote verse what your rights are now? You know what I mean?
Right.
Do I know 100% that I have a right to eat here at this restaurant? Or is that gone away now where a restaurant, and they do now, a restaurant says that we have the right to refuse service, right? Now that is weaponized. It may or may not be. What does that even mean? If somebody says that to you now, based on this, you hear it differently.
Right.
We have a right to da-da-da-da. You're like, what do you mean? Because I'm black. It's like, no, you have on flip-flops. Oh, you can't wear flip. Okay, I'm sorry. But you know what I mean?
And I have heard the argument like, I don't want to be anywhere I'm not wanted. And I totally do understand that.
I just want to be arrested.
But...
Yeah, I don't want to be arrested. I don't
want to be anywhere I'm not wanted. But there's a big part of me that is, what do you mean I cannot come in here? So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, lightening it up.
Lightening it up. Okay, we're gonna talk about jobs and work. So
what?
You
that's light.
Just hilarious.
Oh, okay. You said jobs and work.
Well, it's a work situation. Basically.
This segment is called the what is it going to be called? The
radio.
No, and the media, because it's also Monique with Tyler Perry.
Oh, yeah. Let's do Monique first.
Okay.
So Monique, now let me tell you something.
Guess who's gonna eat what they want to eat?
I love
Monique.
I love Monique. Ain't nobody we ain't gonna get dragged into no Monique stuff. We're going to give the story.
All right.
And I'm gonna pretty much just get the story. But I love Monique.
I do too.
And I don't want it to be, and I know Monique.
So Tyler Perry is at the Angie Stone homegoing service, right?
Yes.
And he is talking about how she was done wrong by the industry.
Yes.
Right. And so that prompted then Sister Monique.
Yes, to comment
and do an open letter to Tyler Perry. And do you have that?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Would you like to read it as Monique?
No.
Okay.
I'm not doing any
would you read it? You're the professional, babe. Go ahead.
Okay, well, she just said, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. And it struck me and my husband, Sydney, because, Sydney gonna be in it too, as poignant. But it also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your actions towards me. So, okay. There's a lot of questions here. Is it the time and place? So let's just keep that. Number one, you expressed anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you label me difficult to work with, despite never having worked with me. How can you condemn poor treatment of others when you've imposed the same on me? We have audio of you admitting you were wrong. Okay, well, so there's audio that pretty much, that's null and void, right? You already took care of that one. Number two, you asked, where's the money she's owed? Well, where's my public apology that you promised in 2016? The false narrative you perpetuated helped to blackball me, costing me tens of millions. Where's the restitution for that? You mentioned being tired of us not receiving the benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation, which highlights your double standard. Now, what did he have to do with Precious? Oh, he on behalf of Oprah and them.
Yeah.
Asked him to do it. Okay, and let's just do this. You said we should be careful of how we treat children of God, as a man of faith, where's your responsibility to act with love and truth? You promised me an apology years ago, but it's yet to come. Unlike the music industry, which you rightly criticize, we have audio documentation of your actions. Shouldn't you be held accountable too? That's
pretty much it. And so, yes. And I think the answer to that is yes. So I guess the question, though, is, was this the time or the place to do it?
So do you think that she was right in doing this in her actions? Let me say this. I understand, because if I saw somebody who I thought had like really done me wrong and cost me like, a bunch of money and my reputation, and then they're going to stand up there and be like, yeah, well, that's wrong what they did. I get it. I don't know why this had to be a whole public thing. That's my only problem with it, because then it kind of takes away the.
And it was a public thing already. It was a public thing already. I think it's the frustration. So I'm with you. I agree. I don't have a problem with her feeling that way. I just probably wouldn't have done it there. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
I don't have a problem with anything.
See what happens.
And so, of course, chat. We always curious to see what you have to say again. And again, I understand. You take the comments out?
Oh, you just doing that? Okay.
I understand. I understand the frustration. I agree with what she's saying. I guess it's just the question of, is that the time? And you know what? But I guess now I think, and nowadays
when the world is on him, and he's up there saying it. I mean, shoot, I get it.
Because you get triggered. He was up there just going in, and I mean, it was one of those things that. What's up, cuz? Vivi's in the house.
Hey, Vivi.
Vivi, what do you think? And then Ray's in the house, cuz Ray just getting off. Ray be making some good money. Ray got some good savings. What do y'all think? Chat, chime in, chat.
Okay, well, let's do the Just Hilarious too. This is the second one, and I had a title for this grouping of stories, but I forgot what it was. Now this one is like, what I do like is like sisters are speaking out.
Yes. They're
speaking out. They're like, nope. Flag on display, and let's talk about it. So
we're gonna play. So the first part is Just Hilarious. Before she was on her IG, kind of voicing where she kind of felt about what's going on with the show, and then it kind of goes into today. They actually talked about it as a team, which I thought was really good.
Okay, what's the background?
So, baby, do we get the comments on the Monique thing first before we do it?
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's see. So let's get the comments first. Okay, Ray just said LOL. Ray said, okay, there you go. Ray said, no problem, but wrong place.
Yeah.
Vivi says it wasn't the right time. Mm-hmm. So I think, again, I think our age group, and we're older than y'all, but feel that way. I think it's kind of how we were kind of raised, though.
Yeah.
We kind of, and I think almost to a fault, because like you said, babe, what Just Hilarious did is something that I would have never done because we were just taught never to do it.
Yeah.
You're
the polite generation.
We're the polite generation.
To a fault.
You're making all this money. You know how they do it. You're making all this, your family too. You're making all this money. Just be quiet. So Just Hilarious, who is one of the team members of the Breakfast, is it Club or whatever it's called, in New York. She got pregnant. She's a comedian who got this job. She used to do online Just with a Mess, and it was very funny. And so her social media following, her comedy, Out of Be More, got her on the show, and she's kicking butt on the show. She got pregnant. She recommended this young lady for this, who I think is a producer on the show, but also has a background in media, who's very good. And so she came in and subbed for Jess, and is doing an amazing job. And she's more like news-based, so she actually will do Jess was being funny and covering entertainment stories. This young lady did a more in-depth, kind of like able to handle debates and conversations about politics and things like that. That's more of her skill set. And so when Jess came back, you know what happened? Social media, so many people were like, well, y'all need to keep her and get rid of Jess. That kind of thing. They create the bad, they create the thing. But the thing but
she also said that none of the crew didn't come to her defense, though, right?
She felt like, everybody says she's better than her. Yeah, nobody really defended. Mm-hmm. And also she said she was frustrated because she's like, okay, so now the Just with the Mess thing, which was really a bit, she comes in with kind of like real news. why are we doing these segments together now? It's just a different thing. So either separate the segments, you know, don't just lump us together. There's a whole show. Why are we doing this thing together? Or have her do the news thing and I do my thing.
Right.
You know, so and that makes perfect sense. So this was her. So I said the first part of the video was her on her IG just kind of talking, frustration wise. And then
that's why I was like, is she still employed?
And then the other clip was this morning. Everybody was in, they kind of hugged it out.
I don't have no reason to on that girl. I don't. No, I didn't like her when I came back because I'm like, all right, what's going on? What's going on? She knew it. We had a conversation. Because the anger was misplaced. Nah, it ain't even you that I don't like. I'm realizing it's the way these doing up here that I don't like. Okay, got it. Ever since I came back, it was weird. Yes, it was weird. How I pick her to fill in for me, right? I come back, she ain't ever leave. Then, all right, cool that she don't leave, but she's on only during my segment. If she was meant to be a fourth host, move her in another way. Why she got to be moved in on? Because nobody had a problem with Jess with the Mess until she started reading right. You know what I mean? Till she started
So
reporting. I wasn't hired as a reporter. I was hired as Jess with the Mess. So she started reading and delivering details and all that stuff.
Yes.
Then that's when Jess with the Mess wasn't good enough no more. That's how it was presented. I don't have no reason to.
I'm really glad about.
Sorry again, babe.
Pardon me?
We didn't hear what the first part.
What I'm really glad about is that she realized that her anger was misplaced.
Yeah.
I'm really glad about that because, I mean, that part is really real. I learned a long time ago, nobody can take your job. If it's your job, it's your job. And guess what? Unless your name is on the checks giving yourself the money, it's never your job. You're just sort of, you know, you're carving out your space. It's your career. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, if somebody else is cutting the check, it's just not your job. You're not making the call. So I love the fact that she came back on that, because to come back and have a problem with her, and I'm sure, you know, she pulls no punches. So I'm sure your girl was feeling it, right?
Yeah.
But to say, yo, it's not with you. It's with like how this was handled when I got back. Yeah. And that whole pregnancy thing, man, I'm gonna tell you what, like I will just never forget. And I tell the story often because I try to urge expectant mothers, if they can, to really research it, take all the time that you can take, because we had two babies right back to back. Our two oldest are only 14 months apart. And when I told it wasn't even my big boss, it was like my immediate manager, that I was pregnant again, he said, I will never forget, he said, "You're killing me." So now I'm sure all of that was just transferred to the little baby that was growing inside of me, you know, feeling like, am I going to have this job? And if I'm honest, when I got back to work, my role had changed. I basically had to claw my way back up to where I was, and where, you know, if you watched me on Fox 5, where you saw me back in the day, because these rules, we're still very behind when it comes to that. So Jess was pregnant, comes back. So I get it. You're already probably feeling like, is this job going to be here? But I'm just glad it's worked out. I guess she still works for the show, right?
Yeah. So everybody's there.
Still on.
It looks like they're going to work it out. And I think, again, that was kind of the difference. And I think you're right. I think, you know,
she's valued. I mean, I think it's showing that she's valued. And isn't that what we all want on these jobs? Dr. Brown was in the comments, and she asked if I would speak on this really quickly. And I'm going to speak on it. Maybe we can speak on it later in more detail. But these hair relaxers that we use we are the main, basically the buyer of these. We're talking about Dark and Lovely, that ORS olive oil hair relaxer, just for me. That's for the babies. That's just for me. Motions and all of this. Currently, right now, this is very new. There are cancer lawsuits across all 50 states. And what we're talking about is they're focusing on things like uterine cancer, endometrial cancer, I hope I'm saying that right, ovarian cancer, uterine fibroids, we know the disproportionate number, and hysterectomy from fibroids. They're finding that these relaxers have very dangerous chemicals in them going right here on your scalp, right here. And I understand, you know, you're trying to get that together, but just be so educated before you do this, and especially for the baby girls.
And we just came out with the hair, for the weave hair, the glue.
All of it.
Let's keep it real, ladies. The nails, all the nail stuff is carcinogens. Yeah. All the nail stuff, all the glues, all the alcohols that they use for nails, the glues, the edge control, all of this stuff. But it's like, okay, so what we gonna do, y'all? Now, what we gonna do? The dyes, men, the hair dyes, the hair dyes. I have a friend who she helps people put their products on Amazon. This shook me to my core. She had a client who had hair dye, and the black hair dye had carcinogens in it. And people started to post on Instagram about the effects. So they didn't say they have cancer, they were saying they were getting burned. But come to find out, that also was a known carcinogen. And the woman refused to take it down. She had, it was only the black that caught the carcinogen. So what really struck me was a person that she knew who's a distributor, who does these hair shows and stuff. She's a distributor. She was suffering with cancer. Yeah. So she told her, hey, this product needs to come out, because she was a client. She was like, she kept it in. She didn't say nothing. And so, ladies, ain't nobody looking out for you. You know these are cancer-causing things. What are you going to do?
Dr. Brown was saying that also they contain PFAS, widely used long-lasting chemicals, which break down very slowly over time. And it's found in water, air, fish, soil, all of these things, and in these products too. So just educate yourself. That's all we're saying. I don't want to bring the mood down, but Dr. Brown brought it up, and I thought it was important to say. Okay, do we got something fun to end on? My Lord.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. We got good advice. Cinnamon biotin are the best for hair growth for females who are Black and Latinas. Okay. All right. That was good. Oh, this is positive. So I'm excited. I'm going to be this weekend.
All right.
I'm going to be hosting this event, which is nice, at the Rise Awards. I'm doing a segment, not the whole event, but the Rise Awards be going down at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz. I'm excited about that. Okay. And we have a very busy April.
Yeah, we do.
And we'll be telling you about it.
I have a very busy next week. I have I might have a school visit for an elementary school. Isn't that cute? For a career day in Southeast DC next week. And then also speaking to a group of young ladies, high school students at McKinley Tech on Thursday. So yeah, we're out here.
So then when you come out, you be like, hey, ladies.
Because I want them to like me. I'm not going to come.
Babe, what do you hit them with when you first come out? What do you do when you come out?
I don't know. I just, I don't know. I can't.
What song would you come out to right now?
Oof. Well, it would be too much like boop, boop, boop in the song. So I got to think about that.
Babe, what's your hot song right now?
I don't have
baby jamming in her car with inappropriate music. What song is that for you?
But I don't know the names of it. It's not regular radio. This is on some Sirius XM. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to see if you can hear this, because I don't think you can. This song, when I was in New York, I used to hit this song off, babe. And I don't know if you can hear it or not. Let's see.
Is this our end? Are we finished with all our topics?
We're done. Now wait a minute. Now hold up now.
Oh Lord.
I don't hear anything. Do you hear anything?
I don't have a set of headphones. He took my headphones.
Well, this ain't working.
Babe, you got some dead air. That's the
all right. Well, dead air. Yeah, you're right. Dead air. We can't do it.
Okay.
All right. Well, look.
I thought we had something else fun that we can end on.
I think that's it.
No?
I think it was all, yes. Was this?
Oh, here's something fun.
Oh, wait a minute. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Rondi, this weekend on WMAR2, my show, The Good News Show with Mark Clarke, it's our engineering show, the Bea Engineering Show. You remember that event that the military pulled out?
Yeah.
Well, we were there. I got talked with the kids. I talked with technology generals and powerful people. So again, if you're in Baltimore,
Seymour,
you can watch it on WMAR2 1230. Make sure you check out the Good News Show with Marc Clarke.
Okay, Karen Simmons, I think it's Bethia, first time here.
Where's Karen at?
Hey, Karen, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Yes.
Yes, look at that headshot. Karen got the hair flowing and going.
Kennedy back in the day.
Yes, and then also Angela, what's up?
All right.
Yeah, you know she come out. Allison is, I love to watch her work. Oh, what?
I don't know what I'm coming out to. And I don't know what the message is, but I cannot wait to talk to these young ladies, these girls at McKinley Tech. Here's something fun to end on. I don't know how fun it is, but there was a stick up down in, where was it? Was it in Florida? Because it sounds like Florida. These 4 people held up a store with 2 pythons. Yeah, that happened.
Oh my goodness.
And they don't know if they were using them to be a threat. They just had them. And the man just was like, whatever you need to take. Go ahead. They took $400 worth of CBD oil or something.
Thank God I'm not on radio, because that's an offensive joke ready to happen.
Oh.
Okay. All right, babe, any parting words?
I don't think I do.
Well,
we just need to end on something uplifting.
That was it.
I
think that was
Here's
it.
something.
Oh.
You pitched your thing. So look, if you all, like a lot of people stream these days, we don't have cable anymore. So we got all these different, WUSA 9 Plus is our streaming platform at Channel 9 here in DC. And every week we do a Get Uplifted streaming show. The one that's on now is pretty cute. It's about cherry blossom. It's cherry blossom time in DC. So check it out, download it. It's completely free. It's WUSA 9 Plus, because a lot of people don't know that we have a streaming app.
What about your show
for
also?
TV. Yeah.
What about your Get Uplifted show?
Uh-huh.
When is
now,
that?
how do you know? Tell me somebody isn't listening by
no.
something.
The stream. I'm saying, baby.
It's on now. It's right now.
They don't know what that.
I just said it, baby.
When you said that you talked about the app.
I just said
but
it.
when does this? How does it work?
Right now, if you go to WUSA 9 Plus, you will find the Get Uplifted streaming show. And this week it's about the cherry blossom. It's all different things. How to make a cherry blossom cocktail. We're talking about the events going around and all of that. So it's up right now.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So don't get in trouble, okay?
Who's gonna do it?
She gets in trouble when she doesn't act right.
Yeah.
Look at Beverly. Beverly, give it to him, Beverly. Beverly's like, yes. Okay, well, that's going to be it, baby. We're hour 12, see?
Huh?
We were long.
We were?
Yeah, long show. Appreciate you.
Oh, my God, we just be talking.
We be talking.
Hey, what's your show? We're watching Severed. What's the name?
Severed.
Severed right now. Are you watching Severed right now? And also, Skylar and I are watching The Bachelor with Grant. Do y'all like Grant?
Oh, my goodness.
People are saying Grant is corny. I don't get it. What do they want? Like,
that
he's a
show
nice
ends
guy.
up making everybody corny.
He's a nice guy. All right. We love y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Exposing the secret to stress-free tax filing with Jones & Associates. With decades of experience, Jones & Associates is your trusted partner in navigating tax season. We handle everything from solo entrepreneurs and mom-and-pop shops to corporate giants with ease. Our team of experts is dedicated to understanding your unique needs and providing tailored advice to ensure your success. Why stress over taxes when you can trust the seasoned professionals at Jones & Associates? Let us simplify your finances and turn tax season into a breeze. Because at Jones & Associates, your success is our top priority. Join the countless satisfied clients who have already discovered the Jones & Associates difference. Visit us online or give us a call today at 410-399-1433 and experience the peace of mind that comes with having a reliable partner by your side.